thank you for joining us. This is Journey to Dubai Future Forum 2030. We are Pratik Singh, Finn Strivens, and Anna Takia. Our intention today is to host a space for reflection. We'll be facilitating this session where we'll all have the opportunity to reflect, generate, and be in conversation around how the practice of foresight needs to and can evolve. We'll also be doing some time travel.
We're here in Dubai, a gathering of futurists. We're a very global room and come from a plurality of practices. We come from different countries, regions, cultures, histories, ancestries. We bring different stories with us about how and why we practice futures. We are a representation of the field, but we are not the field in its totality.
We create the field.
We contribute to change in the field. But how do our practices become signals of change? What are the active choices that we make? What are the wider needs that we need to respond to?
By shifting our practices, we have the potential to shift the field. For the next 45 minutes, we'll be hosting a reflection on how our individual practices contribute to our collective future of foresight. Think back to what brought you to the futures field. Was it a person, chance encounter, a situation? What sparked your interest?
What keeps you here practicing futures?
Welcome, illustrious keynote speakers. Welcome to Dubai Future Forum 2030. Thank you all so much for time traveling with us. You have all been selected to be here today. You've been selected because of your work, which has made significant contributions to the field of foresight since the very first Dubai Futures Forum. And we've chosen to bring you here to workshop your keynotes that you will deliver over the next few days of this Dubai Future Forum 2030.
We'd really like to think about your current practice in 2030. What's the most significant change that you've made in the past 7 years? Why did you make this change? Just think about what you're doing now and what were those conscious choices that you made since 2023 to do something different, to be in this room making this valuable contribution. Was it something about your passions that drove you to make these changes in your field and your practice? What need was this responding to?
Fantastic. So we're going to call your writing to a close there. And the next stage is we're going to invite you to have a discussion with the other keynote speakers gathered here today. So roughly, we want to group you into groups of 3. Try and talk to the people around you. They might be behind you, they might be next to you, but if possible, try and talk to people that maybe you don't already know yet. We're going to have about 15 minutes for this discussion. And what we'd like to do is have about 5 minutes to workshop each of the ideas that you're bringing into that session. And when we say workshop, we mean we'd like you to share a little bit about your idea. And then as a group of 3, we'd like you to build on and critique and build into that idea. So that by the end of 15 minutes, you've all had a chance to expand and grow your thinking around the topic that you've brought into that conversation.
Hi, everyone. I hope you've had a really good, fun, and productive time workshopping your talks with your fellow speakers. I want to bring you back to the room. We're really glad you've been having such an engaging time workshopping your keynotes. And we absolutely cannot wait to hear them over the course of the next 2 days at the forum. But for now, we just want to acknowledge that you have been making such a tremendous impact to the field, and that we want to celebrate your hard work and dedication to change. And for that, I would love if we could at least just close this feedback session with a round of applause for all the hard work that you have been doing.
I really liked her idea. She was talking about the futures is not a profession anymore. Everyone is already practicing it, like from teachers to university students to everyone. It's not a profession in itself. And sometimes you just need a facilitator to maybe like facilitate the conversation, but everyone already knows about it. So that was interesting.
I have to invent it on the spot, but let's say foresight, a thing of the past.
We pretty much had the same topics. We came up with the keynote name of the Human AI Symphony, and it's about seeing AI as a partner, not a tool. And in order to do that, we have to change our level of consciousness and awareness. So the process of foresight needs to move towards human evolution to see the reality in a more conscious and collaborative way.
Thanks, Sven. We had 3 really, really good keynotes. Quite a lot of my work in the field is quite data-led. And Dice, her keynote really sort of inspired a thought in me, which was around the importance of emotive storytelling in our industry. We do a lot of work sort of speaking to ministers and senior civil servants, so people who make those decisions based upon the information that we give them. And I was really reminded that the importance of sort of empathy and empathic kind of storytelling can really act as an amazing change maker, rather than just quantitative, cold, hard data can sometimes. It hasn't changed a great deal yet, but over the next, ask me in 7 years' time and there'll be plenty of stories.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Stuart. So one of the sort of keynotes, and this really is trying to address some of the themes, I think, of the whole forum, but some of the points that came out, obviously, during the day, is titled "The Child in Everyone." And the concept here is that any foresights needs some new, novel perspectives, and sometimes we forget to take some of those perspectives, especially from a childlike perspective. Yeah. Thank you.
Hello, thank you. My name is Katie. Kai shared his, and I'm going to dive in because it's inspired us, and that was really around, it was a crisis keynote about we've discovered that time does not exist, and we now are all nowists. So what would we do differently? And a conversation around that.
Yeah, mine was, I called it bioforesight, methods from the land, and really the idea is about a process, like the land is the process and the land is the framework, and how do we sort of use that knowledge and connect it to our methods, and really it's about that knowledge is sort of the process that we use.
So we actually synthesized 2 threes came together in a super group of 6, and we thought that through leveraging technologies and the focus on the everyday and visioning and cultural institutions, that we could actually use the Dubai Future Forum in 2030 to have a global engagement and to play with the world in relation to self, in relation to yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and to try to really bring out this question about how do we widen our welcome and ultimately create more space for others to participate in an event like this.
it's me again. So actually, our ideas kind of flew into each other's ideas. So picture this: the Future's Luminary Awards. It's a space where every future is celebrated. So we will find exhibitions of different futures, and we'll find like art performances, like visual and those multi-sensory experiences for different different fields. And it will be something like kind of fancy, like red carpety Oscars kind of thing, and everyone will be like dressed up and like celebrating like those multiple futures, and everyone will get to experience those futures together. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you all so much for sharing your keynotes. We're really, really excited to see them and hear them. And clearly the future of Foresight is in very good hands.
Thank you for time traveling with us. We hope you had a fun and enjoyable time. And as you do wrap up and leave the session, we just wanted to make the note that, inshallah, we are here in 2030, and that your work continues to grow. And that if we are here, that invariably your profession will be somewhere. You will be somewhere. Where do you want to be in 2030, 7 years from now? And as you leave the room, to think about, where do you want this field to be? What are the kinds of conversations you hope that we are having 7 years from now? And what are those things that you yourself can do to enable that? Because like we started in the beginning, we are all signals. And we can also be signals of change. And so that starts with you. Is there something you can start to do, even today, in the near future, that enables you to bring you closer to that? So with that, we just wanted to say thank you for joining us on this journey.
And as a final instruction on your way out, we're also hoping to learn from this session. So please do leave your cards or hand them to someone at the door who'll be waiting to collect them. We have a board outside with a question that has the same title of the talk. How has the practice of Foresight has evolved? And it also asks, what 2030 keynotes would you like to hear? So we'll be putting all your keynote talks on the board and giving people a chance to comment on them or write into your cards as well, to hear and start a bigger conversation after this session.